sense.
It's that skin fade.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, I don't know where to go from here. Haircuts do look nice today. You guys have all done very well with that.
Yeah, that was great.
Complexity is quite a surprising win streak.
Better than some.
Better than some.
Definitely.
Why are you just muttering under your breath over there on the desk? You're just hanging out.
I like it.
I'm having a great time, Jason. Like,
how do you pick
against
a 12-game win streak? That's perfect. I'm so good at asking questions when we switch away from them. It's actually unbelievable. Pistol Round about to go live. Complexity, a 12-game win streak. Not all of those are series. Some of them are best of one. 7 straight series victories for Complexity. The Dust talked about it. Competing against lesser competition.
Last time we
casted
a PGL event was Cluj-Napoca, Jason, in the group stages, and we actually casted Complexity's first ever win. And it was against Imperial
Valkyries, that's right.
And since then, they've gone on to do a whole lot of winning. They're getting tired of winning, Jason.
Look, it's beautiful to see. There's a lot of exhaustion around winning these days.
They're America's first.
Yeah,
they are. Here goes Cello climbing up onto short. A little bit of a sexy play into the tunnels. The bomb's right there. Could have been an interesting player to spot out early.
I'm interested in what FURIA is doing with the bomb outside the B site. 3 players moving up catwalk. Do you want to fake an A hit, drop in a CT spawn? Are you going to try and fall back into a mid to B split? Complexity set up very strong for that. 3 players in middle.
Ooh, all right. Serato down first, 60 on the double kill before being cleared out. JT set up next, but remember, Holzerk around the corner, tucked and ready to go for a double. So Skull's left, 1 versus 3 clutch needed from him. He's got 45 seconds to do it with a Glock in hand, and the rotation of the remaining Complexity players coming over towards B. Skulls peeked from window and the left side of the site, and so just too much to handle in the end, so Complexity collect the first round of play.
I'm glad you mentioned Holzerk in that round, and I'm glad Sixy got a nice double kill there, because those 2 guys were beasts yesterday against Falcons in that surprise upset that nobody saw coming. Holzerk went 37 and 13 across 2 maps. Sixy went 38 and 29 across 2 maps. Those 2 dudes were beasts. So you want to talk about this rise from Complexity. Well, they kind of went for this new, obviously the struggles of Complexity and putting a lineup and having funding to be able to afford a strong lineup is well known. They've gone for the potential of NA players, of guys who haven't really had their chance yet in Nixon and Sixy. And obviously, for at least one of them in this short time they've been together, found some comfort coming into this PGL Bucharest event. Let's see how far they can ride that, how far they can take it. Fallen being very passive with the scout.
Oh, that is, yeah, that's pretty nice from Fallen. Just a little push out, snap Holzerk off. Seeing FURIA were boot camping in their usual place in Malta. So they're coming in prepped, ready to go here. 60 looking to pressure up towards top mid and trying to make up for that early deficit that Fallen has caused them to have.
Well, and you take away the information from them now, don't even get a chance to look. And FURIA hasn't actually left T-spawn. They've just basically, this whole round has been spent letting Fallen just play from suicide, and just jumping up, spotting info.
Serato just hanging out, hands off the mouse.
So it's kind of cool you have a pick, but now it's like, okay, well now you actually have to do the work. You know, you got a nice easy one into Holzerk with the sniper, but now you got to get grimy. And you got no armor, you have really just 1 deagle.
I almost didn't expect to be here in this situation. Fallen's got another one though. The Glock's running into the MP9 though. They could just get melted. JT looking to make some money. Fallen up next, and another kill on the scout. Okay, Fallen, now there's weapons to pick up.
Yeah, all right, looking like Legolas out there. He's just playing the trade game with this scout. Good shooting. He found the pick on Holzerk, traded off a couple more kills, so it's just down to Sixy and Grim. Playing in middle, smoke covers the vision. The jump up on Xbox as well. And Complexity has no idea until just now.
Okay, Serato even makes it up. Fallen's leading the charge. 8 seconds left. Got to get that plant in real soon. Fallen commits to it. Has to make it happen here. And they're not in a position to deny it. Serato ripped off the top. Fallen still around, though, with this scout. The Professor looking for all 5. And they're creeping close. Is there another one to offer on up? Scout goes out to the left side. It's yuurih this time chiming in. And Fallen trying to flick down. It's a 1v1. Fallen's gone. yuurih's got some low health, but a chance to close on the hard work of his leader. And that's exactly what FURIA do.
Oh, what a round from Fallen. All the openings you need. The trades, the pick, yuurih to close it out in the post plant 3 versus 2. Rough start for Complexity after winning the pistol, and that advantage is taken clean out of their hands.
That's a brutal round to lose. Fallen just cutting through them. And then yuurih is given the opportunity to close it out for his team, and he makes the most of the situation.
Yeah, those are some precise shots with the MP9 to get FURIA started. Force buy from Complexity in round 3. They're fully invested. Smoke broken open. Nothing from the scout of Hulzurk. It's an AWP on the other side. Fallen's upgraded to the next level.
We climb up into short. JT's looking to try and get a good peek, but they're already around the corner. They're already over the top. And FURIA quick to take short control. Fallen's got the upgrade into the better scoped weapon. Nearly gets caught, but yuurih protects him. That duo of players have become very effective over the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's been a nice pair of rounds for those guys playing together. Smoke coming out from Cello. 60 inside the bomb site. You've got Hulzurk with the scout who has to get some tags on these cross so the pistol can do some work. It's not there.
Oh! Okay. That is just vicious from Castorado. 2 headshots collected. Complexity couldn't fight back. Bomb planted. 2-1 lead here for FURIA. You know, Yanko is saying that expecting FURIA to get into the playoffs. I think coming into the tournament, you look at some of the other teams you would expect to be playoffs teams, and some of them are really underperforming. So I think the opportunity really does open up now for FURIA at this tournament, where you can increase your expectations of them. You know, the likes of MongolZ struggling at the start of the tournament, FaZe looking as flat as they do.
And especially, I mean, it would be a good time for a nice run from FURIA, considering how the conversation around the team, how it's stagnated, how it hasn't made any real improvement or progress. You've had Fur come out recently and publicly state, you know, it's time for changes. This ain't working. If I'm in this team, there's already a change being made. So the patience of the Brazilian scene has run thin for this seemingly what should be the best team in Brazil.
And I think it's just the frustrations of the fact there are just so many Brazilian teams with great players. They're just not all in the right place.
Yeah.
And that frustration adds to...
That's the story of the Brazilian scene right now, for sure.
It is, for sure. Well, FURIA got their opening win versus Apogee. It was a 13-6, 13-7, very comfortable against that Polish squad. And they'll be hoping to try and continue that smooth sailing today.
Who just went on the Polish squad to beat MongolZ earlier today. So
exactly.
Spoilers, which is a pretty crazy result. This tournament has just been full of upsets so far.
Oh, Cello around the corner. And yuurih making a quick play out long. Bring down. Oh, a nice response from Nyx. I don't really think we're going to see too much more of the Complexity camp in this round. Cello makes sure of that, and Nyx will grab the AK-47. And he'll try and steal that one away into the next round. And we're looking at 3-1 for FURIA.
Yeah, already starting to close the gap in case they want to go for a hunt, making sure he can't access T-spawn. I don't know if FURIA will chase it down. So Nyx might be able to keep this one, and then we see what Complexity gets into in the gun rounds. But man, it's painful stub of the toe, winning the pistol, losing the second round on your CT side. It used to be quite a little rivalry building up between these two organizations and teams over the years.
Yeah, just in the Americas having to play each other so often.
The Americas are Mars. They've had some big qualification games for majors, playing each other at the major in Copenhagen.
That's true. Also the Imperial team as well.
Yeah, if you go back to Fallen and the Imperial team, just some back and forth battles there.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, 2 different squads at the moment, though. I mean, Complexity have been going through some real big changes.
Rebuilding phase for Complexity.
Obviously losing Elige, losing their coach TC now. The move of TC is an unexpected one. I mean,
to a Ukrainian team?
Yeah, to Passion UA.
Yeah, that part is unusual.
Did not expect that one.
It's all right. It's cool. It's cool seeing him get that opportunity, and we'll see what he can. I mean, he's been with JT and with Complexity for so long.
It's a new challenge.
Yeah, let's see what you can do with the new squad.
It's certainly a new challenge. I think obviously losing one of the biggest players of that Passion UA team as well, and Jambo going away to Fnatic is going to be another challenge for him. Well, first buy round here of Dust2 and Complexity. They're just sitting back. They've got the pit set up. They got the long corner. No one from FURIA challenging just yet with that smoke down, and yuurih's just going to tuck himself in at the boxes.
Yeah, everyone's spread on FURIA for the aggression, for any kind of a peak that's going to come in this first gun round from Complexity. They're kind of just testing the waters and see what's up, what kind of philosophy Complexity is going to start with. Now you start taking that basic mid control. No smoke up at the double doors, just going to progress to Xbox all on their lonesome. Sexy's going to deploy the smoke right after the Molotov to negate the timing of that lurk smoke. And Halzerk's op will get tested eventually.
Hitting the 42nd mark of the round and yet to see a fight, but...
And no one has shifted outside of the B bomb site for Complexity. This late in the round, you've heard nothing, no information. There's still two defenders inside the bomb site. Is going to make this defense much weaker than Complexity would like.
Here comes the short play. Smoke's disrupted by the grenade of Halzerk, but not spotting anybody yet. But he'll get that chance. He'll miss. A little bit too much sauce on the flick to the right side.
And Sexy tried to execute the mid lurk way too early.
And Grim knows he's got an awkward fight here. yuurih, great position in at the boxes. He was so patient. He's been there the whole round.
Yeah, and now Halzerk's boxed in. It's a lovely round to be your long player, because you're like, oh, Catwalk's having so much success. I don't need to do anything. I just get to wait for the perfect moment. I can just sit here the whole round. JT eventually gets a kill on the op. Not going to get away as KScirado hunts him down. And Halzerk starts to make his play to evacuate long A. He knows he's being hunted, and there's so many angles you got to worry about. Halzerk is dead.
A little jump at the end there for yuurih to celebrate.
Nice to see the start from yuurih, too, because yuurih's someone who's been under the crossfires a little bit, and FURIA with his performances haven't rebounded to the level we know he's capable of. Starting 8-2 in this map here, including a pretty critical pair of kills and a 2v3 in the round 2. But playing some solid Counter-Strike to open up Dust2.
And Fallen's looking sharp at the moment.
And that's kind of why I was so surprised that no one had left the B bomb site, because like normally what can happen is the mobile player shifting about where they feel the attack is going to come is that sort of mid CT spawn player who cheats to the A bomb site, cheats to mid double doors when they feels like the pressure is bouncing back and forth. But with nobody rotating out of the B bomb site, he had no space and nobody to cover his position to shift over towards A. Chose to go for that mid play instead. We'll see if Complexity's defense stays that stagnant throughout this half.
Oh, nice jump up from Cello. And not really expecting too much resistance or Complexity due to the weaker weapons here. So 5-1 start for FURIA. Up next is Train, and I seen a tweet from Chad Sponge yesterday who was saying that, you know, you've got Complexity as a team who are picking Train and becoming Train merchants. It's so on brand for them, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, well, because they were like the last holdout of Vertigo
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Vertigo gets replaced. You gotta just pick up whatever is replaced it.
It makes sense too when you think some of the disadvantages they'll have as they try and make the climb back up through the ranks. Having that in your map pool early on can be quite a benefit. We'll see if it continues to deliver for them. 5-1. They've got to worry about Dust2 now because this scoreline is widening and FURIA showing no signs of slowing down. Halzerk's got his op again. That's going to be moving over to the B bomb site. Looks like they want to get aggressive after the Molotov.
Here's Halzerk. Comes away with the opening. Skulls is down on the ground, and FURIA have to play this 4v5, so the response is to swiftly take Cello and put him in the lower tunnels while KScirado applies pressure up through short. JT's starting to take a couple of steps back. He's out towards Elevator, and 60 moving out of Goose, more towards the site, anticipating a pop through short. KScirado, oh, he's got one. Not quite the second. It was Cello that was able to grab that one, and Grim had everything to do, and that's just too much to ask of him.
Yeah, especially on that cross from that angle as well. Really hard to connect spray transfers and multi up in that situation. FURIA do eventually make the jump up the boxes to plant the bomb through the smoke. Nyx goes down, and Halzerk left alone to try and save the AWP. FURIA, 4v5 conversion with ease up catwalk. Nothing to slow them. And Halzerk's going to back away quietly. The only weapon they'll have in the next round.
So much money on FURIA, it's ridiculous. Everyone's loaded.
Yeah, and I mean, you want to kind of touched on it, and I know the desk has mentioned it too, but if you're looking at this tournament in a grand scheme of things, we just talked about it in the context of Mongols, but for FURIA, top 4 teams aren't here, so that already makes things a little bit easier. And now you've gotten into a situation where the first 2 days of this event have been all upsets. You know, like there's been so many upsets to start this. This bracket is messed up. You're going to be able to find maybe some opposition in the 2-0 game that you didn't expect to be able to find coming into this event. This is one of those situations, FURIA, it's like you have to capitalize on it. For a team struggling to find good results, you have a great opportunity here to make a deep run in Bucharest and get some playoff experience.
It could be a great step at this point of the year for FURIA. MongolZ, oh, patient. Nearly gets his reward on the jumping fall-in. Would have been a difficult shot to connect. But when you are the solo AWP and you look around the rest of the weapons here for complexity, there is a pressure on MongolZ to deliver something in this round. So he's changing up his position quickly, heading back out to long.
Yeah, which isn't where most of the pressure that FURIA has been coming up with early in the rounds has been. Long has mostly been a lurk position. Everything's been coming catwalk, Xbox, double doors, in that part of the map. MongolZ moves out towards long to activate this aggressive push from Grim, gives him a new location behind the double doors. And now you can back away with Grim in that safety.
Oh, big peek from Grim. 60 able to come back in with that 5-7 cello hitting the deck, and it looked like it was going to be smooth sailing here for FURIA, but suddenly they're throwing in a little bit of a curveball and have to play 3v4. Not only that, but Kesarado is down on 8 HP.
Yeah, not ideal. I didn't expect that flash play from Grim. That was well set up between him, well orchestrated between him and MongolZ to find a pick out towards long. yuurih goes down. Kesarado, excuse me, as MongolZ, who is getting peaky. And with that one big weapon, the one AWP that Complexity have, you can understand he's feeling like he has to overextend in different situations. This one's punished. No smoke. You'll have to use the cover of the op to traverse to the B bomb site, and it's easy. Nobody's peeking.
Kesarado patient. Low HP and wounded, but still a beast. A deadly one at that with 5 seconds left. Bomb going down. And FURIA manage to dodge all of the threats. And Kesarado, everything on his own. AWP finally brought down before he collects every single kill of the round. JT will retreat to attempt to save the sniper. And we're looking at 7-1 for FURIA.
Yeah, good find, though, from JT at the end of the day. That AWP is going to be useful in the hands of MongolZ. He can pass an M4 to a teammate, and then they'll have a full investment in this next round. But FURIA just not showing any signs of weakness, even when they're put in awkward situations, even when it's a 3 versus 5 and Kesarado's dinked up, they still find a way to win the round. Late into the timer, 7-1, 6-round lead. Complexity's follow-up to that spectacular upset yesterday is looking flat to start Dust2.
Well, Messioso behind them, their coach, their standing coach. He was saying that yesterday was quite easy for him as a coach. He didn't have to call a timeout, just let them roll. They were locked in. Today, a little bit of a different story so far.
Yeah, it has been. Okay, MongolZ, look at this aggression. I like it feeling frisky. Missed shot on Kesarado with that jump. Over to the B bomb site we go. FURIA called a pocket strategy out of spawn just to break the smoke and get into the B site. MongolZ, another missed opportunity. The opposite of what we saw yesterday, and it's to Complexity's detriment. Man. This round can't even be contested.
This is rough now for Complexity. FURIA changed the pace up coming into the round. They've been playing very slow in the first gun rounds, but they just barrage into the B bomb site. As soon as you miss this shot and they're coming at you that fast with that many players, it's over. Wrap it up.
And because you started so many players in middle with that fight, you're late to get to the B bomb site, so you can't even get them stuck in the choke point. You're fighting when they're already strung out wide and already swinging into the site. Makes it much more difficult. Complexity just can't get a grip on this FURIA attack. And at this point, I don't think FURIA even care to hunt. Like, they have all the money in the world. You could throw most of these rifles away and still be fine, but the save call came so early, it's like, why bother? We're content with the 8th round, and they get to play a little bit of footy.
Yeah. I appreciate you using the right term. So a boring save situation about to turn into a perhaps devastating finish, but Zixzy's gonna hold on. At least that's something. So not losing absolutely everything here. FURIA on fire, 5 rounds in a row. Okay, Serato looking sharp, Fallen kick things off, looking solid.
It's 8 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I mean, you're right. They have won 5 rounds in a row.
That 5 is part of the 8. Yep, you're right. I just seen the fire and it always makes me think 5. It's broken my brain.
Yeah, it really has. It's latched in there.
Nyx pushing towards tunnels. Oh, flash connects perfectly onto Skulls, and Nyx doesn't want to get involved in that fight, so he retreats back into the safety of the B bomb site.
It's not a huge, but a nice piece of information that there's only the one lurker just watching for that push, so you're not concerned about the B bomb site at this immediate moment. Smoke break, nothing for yuurih to shoot at. So Zixzy's gonna play CT spawn. He'll have the opportunity to shift over to the A bomb site if needed, if JT calls for him. But yuurih's up in this map, dictating absolutely nothing. In middle, it's blocked off by smoke, no information. He's missed some shots on the B attack in the previous round. Catwalk's been a struggle.
35 seconds. Slowing it right down again. This time yuurih will connect his shot, but it's the final play for FURIA into the A bomb site in Cello. Precision to the brain of JT. And Grim is now long, cowering in his boots because utility flies towards him. Cello's up next, but Grim still wins that fight. That keeps Complexity in with a shot as they come back in with numbers advantage on this retake attempt. But Serato is in savage mode right now, and he is looking for more frags on that ramp push up in towards him. He combines with Fallen, and Serato shreds them to pieces. 9-1 as FURIA do not stop this streak.
Yeah, this is nice. This is the FURIA you want to see. Serato putting up numbers, winning you late rounds. yuurih finding some impact to get this team going. Fallen hitting shots with the op. This feels like the team working a little bit more like it's supposed to. Cello doing good work on the space taking. Skulls hasn't even had to get involved yet. That's a nasty sequence from Serato, and Complexity still stumped on this CT side. Dust2.
Another pick from yuurih, right? They got to work with this one. Complexity gonna send Zixzy up through short. Grenade to sort of sell the illusion that he hasn't pushed into top mid. He's gonna try and flank around the backside. Grim's got into Longhouse as that smoke will soon fade away. yuurih's got eyes in the right position.
It's a lot of pushes though. A lot of players making
look at the
plays.
flank. The flank's coming in. And so Zixzy's been spotted. He moves forward. yuurih also beat Grim out. And so, yeah, none of these pushes have worked out for Complexity. And Zixzy's just kind of lucky to get away.
Yeah, everyone's just like stalemate. Like, fine, dude, scurry back to your little home on the other side of the map. Content with the 4-on-4 we found ourselves in. With yuurih having standing outside of long, the rest of the team meets up with him. You still have Skulls lurking over in upper dark looking for some kind of B push. Still, once again, a heavy lean for Complexity at the B middle portion of the map. 2 defenders inside the B bomb site, 1 in middle. That leaves Zixzy alone at car, and he's got to watch long and catwalk. Although with his teammate gathering information, he can be somewhat confident at the moment.
Peek up over the car, but Cello once again, it's just cracking open these bomb sites. Another huge shot from his yuurih. Oh, the timing. At least he gets the scope back in time to dish some damage out, but not enough to stop Skulls. And yuurih's not really even close to a situation where he can find any further impact in the round. A kill from Nyx into the lower tunnels might reopen the conversation, though. They've got time on the fuse.
I mean, look, you just need rounds at this point. You have to go for it. I don't care what the timer is. I don't care what resources you do or don't have. You need more than 1 round in this half, so you have to attempt the 3v3.
And Cello's just waiting for that peek to the short smoke, but they're not getting through it. And Complexity, even though they realize how desperately they need round wins, they don't feel like this is even worth going for.
Yeah, and I don't like the call to save here. Like, you have to have the round. That's it.
So it's now 10-1. You had a pistol round, and that's it. So
10 in a row now for FURIA.
10 in a row, Jason. That's 2 5s in a row.
That's 2 5s in a row.
They're double on fire now.
You don't see that too often. People love it.
They do love it.
I don't know. This feels like this half. I mentioned early on. Let's see if like Complexity's defense remains that stagnant. I feel like I've seen so many rounds of 2 players dedicated to B, 1 player dedicated in middle.
Complexity's sort of run of form lasted yesterday.
Yeah. Some of these like late round situations, it just feels like the win condition is a Herculean individual moment.
Yeah.
Like that round is 6E's playing at car and 3 players swing him long. And it's like, you don't win that round unless he gives you like 2 kills.
It's disappointing for Complexity to come off such a heater yesterday, and this is your first half against FURIA. Nyx has got an AUG out for the final round of the first half.
That's why I brought up the stat line from yesterday of guys like 6E and MongolZ, because they were so individually incredible yesterday. That helped massively in that upset against Falcons. You don't have that here today, and it's looking grim, Dinko.
It's not bad.
It's pretty bad.
6E all the way through top middle. So another push. But this one might work out because everybody for FURIA is committed around long.
All right, Complexity, you've got him boxed in. You've pushed up middle yet again with 6E. JT's clearing out lower and upper dark. Pretty soon you'll be able to rotate Nyx. You know it's a long play. Oh, but I don't know if they're going to be here at time.
Oh, Cello won another one. Just another huge opener on the bomb site. Grim coming back in to try and trade it out, and he will be effective in doing so, but he's stuck at Gandalf. Now, 6E's starting to make his way forward. For the first time in a long time, there's actually a gap to flank long, but Fallen shuts that almost immediately as soon as it opens. Grim is still fighting, doing everything he can. JT's turn, but he's got nothing. And it's Nyx with the anime gun, looking for an anime finish, jumping through the sky.
Stop.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for it, but he has to wait, and yuurih walks right into him. All right, Nyx. A little bit of style points to round out the half.
A little bit too many attempts at the jumping shot, but that's a clean one to close things out. Nice clutch, nice 1v2 from Nyx with the AUG. 3 kills total in that final round, and Complexity do find a second, but it doesn't feel nearly enough. They got worked. They win the first round and the last round of that half, and that is it. $14 kills on Serato, 12 on Cello, 11 on yuurih. Some good calls out of Fallen, but a relatively easy half for them. They didn't get a whole lot of obstacles or a whole lot of resistance. Never had to save. Never even had to be concerned about money. And now they get to switch over to the CT side, and a pistol round win for them sets it up just nicely.
It's got to feel so rough for 6E, who spends his entire round preparing for that long flank. As soon as he walks out, Fallen's there ready to go. Well, second round's nice, but doesn't really change the outcome all that much here for Complexity. They got a huge amount of work to do. At least they've got Train next.
True. We'll see if that can be considered pretty consistently strong in their pool, or if that's going to be another quiet performance. yuurih hears all the attention, drops a defensive smoke. Cello's taken out on Catwalk. So it's literally all on yuurih. Got one and gonna bail out of the fight. So keeps it into a 4-on-4. He's got the cover of Fallen so he can retreat down the ramp.
Looking for back-to-back pistols here. MongolZ waiting at short, sees Serato hop up on the Xbox. He's not going to drop. Stays in the ledge, looking for a follow-up kill, then falls back into the site. Might be able to
There's a kid on
Draw
yuurih.
attention away from 60 inside of the site. Now, yeah, they have extra time to play with thanks to that kit, and Fallen creating some space. Getting closer, follow-up headshot this time from yuurih. Fallen, look at it clean out Goose. They know exactly where JT is playing from, and Fallen nails that shot, leaving holzerk with everything to do. And FURIA just cut their way through the complexity post plant and get the defuse with a kit.
Yeah, man, those are filthy shots. We just kind of touched upon it in the previous series, the Astralis series, where it was kind of Astralis 3D Max. It's like those 5-on-5 retakes are really tough. This one's a 4-on-4 essentially, but those shots from FURIA, so precise. Beautiful USP work as they swing out wide and start to get into this bomb site, and none of those Glocks can have any effectiveness. None of them can connect, and that kit on yuurih's the saving grace. So Complexity's now in a buy every single round, everything we can, invest all the money until we go on a win streak. 3 Galils, 2 Deagles, and very light on nades brought into this round 14. Fallen's dead.
Oh, he is. He actually got a chance there.
I think he just like zoned out, spamming the smoke. He was like, no one's gonna.
This game has just suddenly become so easy. He's fallen off, but Zerato blows open the CT smoke. Goes for a fight with the M4, and okay, JT's always got a dig in him every now and then. Skull's now his turn. His moment. He's had a quiet match. Everybody else taking the spotlight, but Skulls has got a double. Nearly gets a third until body shotted by JT.
They set yuurih up, though, for a nice attempt at the clutch. The smoke is going to fade very, very shortly. Going to drop another one, bounce it deep into the bomb site, give himself some space.
Oh, JT with 3 deeks. Not bad at all. So Complexity needed that round. You lose the pistol. That's really the only thing you have left is following up.
Hey, FURIA starting their CT side the same way Complexity did. Pistol round victory into a second round loss.
Yeah, we're about to watch
all
10 rounds in a row.
It's all lining up.
Jason.
Here we go. Massive comeback for Complexity. They're winning the major, so they might as well start now.
Lifting it in Austin, man. Wow. What a story that's going to be. Long taken by Complexity. CT cross smoke coming in. And there's no one really defending on this side of the map for FURIA, so Complexity made the right call. Until the rotations come back, Jason. They've come back pretty fast, actually. But
yeah, but they're not in position to do anything about it. There's a nice fight with the
bomb goes down.
Yeah, but this Deagle in this position, that ain't gonna do much.
It's Caserado, though, Jason.
They don't expect it.
Yeah. Needed the quick headshot.
Important tournament for Complexity as well, in the context. I mean, great to see that upset yesterday against Falcons. Had to have been really confidence infusing. It would suck to see them kind of get beat down here by FURIA, because they're another team that's playing in the MRQ. They're going to be playing in the North American MRQ, which starts on Tuesday, next Tuesday, I want to say. So build up a little bit of confidence going into that event would be something special for Complexity that could really use the major.
Definitely could use that. Shell out. The bullets whizzing past him, steps pittering and pattering towards him, and eventually Grim will collect that kill to close the round. In favor of Complexity, FURIA still with not a lot of money here, so we're going to see another round where they have some upgraded pistols. Complexity will grab 5.
And if you're Complexity right now, you don't need to make this more difficult than it has to be. You do that whole, like, that stereotypical 1 round at a time, but I think more than anything, you play this half and hope you get some guys to wake up. You know, you start this so far back, no matter how good of a comeback it is, chances are FURIA's going to win too. So you keep believing, but you're kind of hoping guys like Grim, guys like Sixy, guys like holzerk find their shot going into train. Find their game where it's been lacking so far on Dust2.
Yeah, I mentioned some of the upsets in the tournament so far. I think one of the teams that are most upsetting, and it's probably understandable to an extent, is Team Liquid, right? I think many people expected...
You're taking a shot, right?
No, not a shot.
It feels like a shot, but go on.
It's just sad, man. I just thought it'd be a little better. But you know, there's like I said yesterday, it's a Swiss system, so they have another chance to warm up into it, Jason. And then they'll go on that, you know, 0-2 run all the way back, and then they get all the games to practice.
Listen, it's a move made for the major. Things aren't looking great now, but give it a couple months.
And now we're talking about Falcons, yeah?
Yeah. Just lump all the teams into that category. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. It has been... Yeah, disappointing is a good way to put it. I would have liked to have seen that show some better results out of the gate, but...
Yeah, but I think it's understandable.
They have time to show those results.
MongolZ is the surprising one.
Yeah, that one is... Yeah, today's loss for them is crazy. I remember I went to HLTV like after one of the first maps of our first series and was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah. I think they've had their Navi in Singapore.
Sure.
All right, finally money's here for FURIA's defense. This is a real sign of whether the comeback's going to be real or not. Lose this, job's pretty much done.
Yeah, you lose this one and then Complexity's starting to make a game out of things. Mid to be smoke. Counter Molotov from Fallen, takes the wide angle, drills the shot. Sixy segregated from his team by the flames, and MongolZ can't follow up with anything.
Ooh. JT, not the kind of gap he would have hoped for there on the side of the smoke, so goes for a little tap to see if he can catch Kesrada climbing up on the box, but timing doesn't favor that. And Complexity maintain the man deficit. All 4 players committed up through short. They've got no lurks, either in the tunnels or outside long. So it will be a committed final execution.
And unlike Complexity's defense, FURIA has 2 players here at the point of the attack. Most of the places Complexity's defense was back towards car.
God.
Now you've got one in sight, you got one at railing. How are you going to get through this?
And the grenade slowed them and kept them in that one position, which made it so easy for the rifle to not only get 1 kill, but do damage onto all the players that were slowed in the same spot. So MongolZ thrusts himself forward, but Kesrada makes sure he goes no further. And composure here for FURIA. They're back to the guns on the CT side and back to dominant winning ways.
Yeah, shut him down. No chance in that hit whatsoever. The kills came out before Complexity even had an opportunity to get close to the bomb site. Skulls and Kesrada working in tandem to shut it down. 12-5 and 7 chances to take this first map if you're FURIA. And plenty of things going right for you. Kesrada having a very good game. Yuurih having a...
Oh, that's not going right, though.
That's not one of the things going right.
Fallen got them going.
Yeah, Fallen and Yuurih to open up this map were spectacular. Really set the tone. Kesrada's picked it up as needed.
All right, B-Pop coming in here for Complexity. Kesrada's on the right side. And here's Skulls with it. Oh, this is going to be a scary duo to try and run into if you're Complexity. For your map survival here. Skulls primes himself. Kesrada ready to go behind the car, but Kesrada gets nothing. Skulls only with 1. That's not enough here for FURIA to go for this.
Tons of flashbangs chucked out by Complexity. Good utility usage. Everyone is blind. Yuurih's going to go down. There's an AK-47 in CT spawn. JT finds a freebie. So up to 6 we go. No sense or no feel that this comeback is underway just yet, but staying alive for the moment. Just sticking around and being an annoyance at this stage of the game.
You know, it's that classic cliche of playing yourself into the game, Jason. You know, playing yourself into the series, rather. You got Train coming up next. Exit with a few rounds under your belt. Warm up a little.
Yeah, don't get wiped out. Go into the break and be like, if we play Train like we played the last 5 rounds of Dust2, all good. We do it like the first 12, not good.
Get sort of like a semblance of things going right. Well, they have put the money in a difficult spot for FURIA where you don't want to see them fully buy here. Half investment around the saved weapon and then have a full buy in the next is the likely call here for FURIA.
I think that'd be the smart decision based off money and based off how many rounds you have to play with. You don't need to force the issue now. Maximize your rifle rounds down the stretch.
Bang.
So feel free to make the hard decision and save and give one up potentially.
Another shot through the doors. Not bad, holzr.
He's warming up.
This one, not to death, though, as FURIA maintain all 5 players.
Cello's in lower. I don't think they spotted this. I don't think they have any indication.
Well, they knew it was a possibility at least, and that Molotov will confirm it. 1 tick of damage onto Cello, but it doesn't matter if he still just peeks out and gets a kill. And he gets away. Oh, that's the worst case scenario for Complexity.
Yeah, fine work from Cello. Skulls is brought very, very low with one of the M4s, though. Might want to pass it off. Nobody else has armor. M4 is going to be at the B bomb site. Cello comes right back in towards lower, sees if he can get tricky. Confuse JT, and he might have just done it.
Oh my god. They're right beside each other. Hello, Cello. He's able to get a pick onto JT, looking the wrong direction. That's going to be so frustrating for Complexity, who now fall to just 3 players to try and continue their performance here on Dust2.
If yuurih can just stay alive and actually maybe just harass, maybe get like a cheeky little dink, maybe jump up and grab a little attention.
Whoop, there's a little attention.
Oh.
There's a little more. Kill comes in on the P250, and FURIA look like they're about to close this out in this fashion. They were waiting to get a buy back in the next, but it doesn't really matter. Grim and holzr could try and close out a 2v5. Cello's killed his own teammate and fallen, but he's followed up and made up for it. Here's holzr's turn. To the Glock he'll go, but just too many targets, too many players, and too much work to do for Complexity. FURIA come through with a 13-6 victory on Dust2. They shut out Complexity from a dominant first half.
This map has told me that I need to start trying jump shots more. With that, we'll send it off to the desk. Oh, I apologize. I threw that. I thought he said the desk was ready. The desk was not ready. That was on me.
You were just you were jumping the gun. You were trying jumping already, Jason.
I'd like to apologize production. I'd like to apologize to Sam,
the game,
to Yanko, to Prof.
The game's still going.
Oh, the game is still going?
Yeah.
They didn't win?
The game's still going. Yeah, we definitely jumped the gun on that one, Jason.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, well, we all thought it was over, but it's not. And everybody's having a laugh.
Everything felt very over.
Everything felt done.
Everything felt completed. It feels like
but there is that small element of time,
The
Jason.
story had wrapped up nicely. All the heroes had their closing moments.
All right, we're going to try this one more time. Take 2. Let's see how it all went down. So time was the problem then, I guess. So gets onto it. Yeah. All right. Well, no kit. So felt like there was enough time.
Yeah, but everyone's sticking around.
He came off it, bro!
Oh.
No! That's worse than Carrigan. At least Carrigan was understandable, but bro, what have you done? Complexity are still in it.
Kusta, is that you?
He's back. Why have you done that? Cello thought it was... Dude. All right, here we go.
I'm confused. Did someone like high-five him and take his hand off? Did he like scratch his nose? What are we working with here? I need some information.
That's so good. That should have been it. All right, I'm glad that we aren't crazy. Like that should have been it. You know, there wasn't like we missed the time, Jason. Okay.
Oh my.
Oh.
Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay, snap back into focus, boys. We've really given that one away.
Complexity, the golden ticket. If they come back, Jason, this has got to be one of the most legendary games.
Look at Sixy's position. Oh, that's sweet.
That's what we like to see from Sixy.
Yeah, I actually thought Fallen was going to get that. He tracked down pretty nicely, but apparently just off the mark. Spam coming through that smoke. Serato feeling really uncomfortable. He's worrying about Sixy coming up the ramp.
50 seconds on the clock. Serato ready for the walk in towards him. It's a big pick from Serato. Seconds even better. Might be done now. We need a little bit more action. We need a few more moments of server time. But Serato's had enough. No need for a defuse if he can just take every single kill, but Sixy doing what he can.
Oh,
2 kills in the round so far. yuurih in the pit. Nyx trying to put pressure on him. And Nyx and Sixy combining together, so it must be Serato. It must be the ace clutch to close this out.
He has the bomb, though. They've got to jump up for the bomb. And
15
seconds. Oh!
Misses the shot. Serato down, though, by Sixy with a 4K. He does everything. He stays into his CT, gets the opener and the closer. Nix finds the important frag towards Pit.
Yeah, it's actually a super awesome round from 60. Cool to see that level of impact and that level of play creation out of him, lurking through the mid to B smoke into CT. 12-8. This combined with the weird diffuse situation, FURIA's now out of money, and I don't want it to be so, but this map is just going to get harder for FURIA.
It's so wild.
What a crazy turn of events.
I don't even know why. Like, yesterday, the Carrigan one, I can understand, because he could have jumped up on the boxes, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
That one, everyone's dead, dude. You're just hold the diffuse key.
When I'm diffusing for 10 seconds, I press the E key so hard.
I literally is the only focus in the world, right, when you're diffusing. You don't want to let everybody down.
I put so much effort into keeping that key pressed down.
Maybe you hit it so hard, Jason.
It just deactivated.
Yeah. Skulls. It's going to be a good headshot, but obviously not expected to get much more than that. But even then, that theory, even as wild as it is, isn't realistic because you can see he like flicks up off of the TV. It's a mouse movement thing. Cello and yuurih are back in this, though.
Oh, don't do this.
Is this how you're going to close it? Is this how it ends?
He's alone in the site, Halzer. He's alone in
Oh.
the site. Oh, good shot, though. Good shot, though. And his teammates coming in. B-Hall's behind him. And now they know it's all on K-Serato.
Oh, it could close right now. Serato against JT, and that's the way it's done. FURIA
Why not?
finally get the W. The headsets can come off, and I'm just interested what the panel think of that one.
The panel is waiting to make 100% sure that the game is over before we talk, because that weird...
Because ain't nobody going to be scared if you lose this game. Ain't nobody going to be worried about your train.
No, that's true. And that's the one thing you've got. The one thing you've got really going for you. Well, FURIA had a lot going for them in map 1. I think in particular it was great to see Serato fragging out. It's always a great win condition when he's fragging.
Op was impactful. His calling was solid. Cello had fantastic openers. yuurih was so solid at the start. Clutch, really good supportive player off of his teammates. Skulls kind of popped off a little bit later on into the game, but wasn't needed for most of it. Yeah, FURIA had everything. They looked really, really good on Dust2. I think that's a little bit of complexity, looking really, really bad for the majority of Dust2. And just general improvements in FURIA. Good shot from Nix. He picks yuurih out of the sky. 2 opening kills make it 3 for complexity. And all of a sudden, this pistol round is in the favor of the CT side.
Yeah, good work from Fallen, at least with 1 kill, but it's not going to get them any closer to feeling comfortable in this post plant. Grim's coming down the ramp while they're distracted, and so that's an easy kill for Grim. And Cello will follow suit. So Grim with a great double. Complexity will win the pistol.
And he's probably the player you point at the most in this team and say, it's time. You had your
let's go, Grim.
You had your stint in Liquid, you had your stint in Complexity, and then Elise joined the roster and you kind of got overshadowed. But now he's gone again, so you're the guy. You're the one who has to take all that experience that you had the chance at Tier 1 over the past 2 years, put it all together, and become our star rifler.
Yet to be seen if Grim is going to be able to rise to that level. I think he's definitely got the skill to be for them, but hasn't necessarily always been able to deliver on the promise. But Complexity win the pistol round, and FURIA, they decide to buy into Deagle's Tech 9s instead of going for the full force buy, despite having the bomb plant. They're gonna go quick over towards B. Serato just having to peek down to the bottom of the ramp. Complexity not putting themselves in danger's way. Nick's gonna play behind Thomas. Halzerk up on top of the oil train. FURIA have played train 4 times so far to mixed results. They lost to Maus. They beat Falcons, but they actually lost to M80 most recently, so...
A little up and down.
Yeah. I think that's FURIA though, aren't they? Just an up and down team.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the teams that hasn't found any consistency, so it's always kind of been hard to place them because you're sort of like, well, on a good day, and then on a bad day. And more often than not, we've seen the lesser days for FURIA.
And they come popping into the B-bomb site, a couple through the lower ramp, 3 through upper, and none of them really getting past. Cello able to bang out Halzerk eventually, but the rotations here, and Grim's got the perfect weapon for the job. The AUG pulled out, can be very useful on train. We actually even seen Yesterday we seen a Krieg bot on this map for Device.
That's right. Old Device brought it in.
Yeah.
I don't think he put it to much use.
No, but it was bought.
But it was
and
there.
we haven't really seen that purchase happen a whole lot. All right,
Furious-
Coach Messioso.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's got a whole aura to him, doesn't
Got
he?
the whole Viking haircut. We heard about this, the fades earlier, but it's the Viking hair from Messioso.
Dust didn't like this haircut. They didn't like the man bun. Or Prof didn't, I should say.
Yeah, well, that's just because he doesn't have a man bun. He
Probably.
could pull it off.
I understand that compulsion. Here we go. Utility out towards T-mid. Double nade to damage up any aggression towards ladder room, but JT was getting aggressive behind the train. Skulls is going to take control of box halls. 3 players here for FURIA. yuurih, Quesarado, and Skulls. While Cello and Fallen work the other side of the map in this default. It's an Ivy push. I hope they coordinate these pieces of aggression, right? Give me like an Ivy push with 60, and then the team mid players can peek with him if he gets in a fight. They've just now started to make their move. Still trusting Nyx alone with that B bomb site. Yeah, and there's that coordinated push. Good pick, good 5-on-4 find.
yuurih was trying to sell a little bit more of a presence towards B than what they've really got going, but look at this from Grim. So much space being taken, getting in behind him. I don't think FURIA are going to be ready for this at all. For Grim to be so quickly in behind him, he's about to spoil the party. But the timing, unfortunately, for Grim is not quick enough. His teammates need to hold on, and they won't. Here's the flank, has to be everything, and Grim's got 2. Now they turn back to try and deal with him. 30 seconds left. Fallen, still with that bomb, moves out into the site, but JT, he can deny the plant. And so the distraction from Grim is enough, and he gets out towards Thomas. So this is huge. Absolutely massive play from Grim. Steps up as the star in this round. And with 15 seconds on the clock, it's Grim to close on 3.
Yeah, beautiful find on the flank. Keep staying proactive as well. Off that little peek towards mid, you get the kill. You realize it's clear. Everyone's bailed out. You know they're not Ivy. You know they're not T-mid. Nice little flank through box halls from Grim. Good decision making. And saves the day. Any little bit of resistance from his teammates in the bomb site, and that would have been so clean. But they both go down, and Grim has to bail them out. And a timeout taken by FURIA, losing complete control of the map in that round 3. Little conversation for FURIA now. That might have taken, I don't know. We'll see how the rest of this half goes with FURIA's T side of train. Felt like it took them a little bit of time to kind of coordinate how to play that 4-on-5, which gave Grim so much time to set up that flank. Might have just been this isolated situation due to the surprise of the push. Dude, this map is so cool looking.
Yeah, the rain is awesome.
The rain is so nice.
Especially when it falls on your skins.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes your
cool.
life look cool. Ooh, Fallen. Out at Olaf. And the grenade lands right at his feet. That really couldn't have gone any worse for Fallen, could it? The grenade lands on him right in the middle of the smoke.
Slows him down for the op shot.
Yeah, everything just goes bad. But Holzerk might get a chance here. Smoke breaks open. And doesn't go well for Holzerk. In fact, it opens up a chance for FURIA to pounce through into the bomb site. JT being elusive around the red train right now. Grim gets caught though by Skulls. Quesarado still at Ivy. Timing to look away is a big problem. Nyx only manages 1 though. Skulls able to flick back. And so it's all on JT, who no longer has the element of surprise. And Cello turns back. Oh, that's a round that Complexity are not going to be happy about conceding, but one that FURIA can celebrate.
Yeah, real brawly. Nice work with the Tech 9, using Ivy and some smokes to get up close. Swarming that bomb train. Grim could only get the 1 through that smoke and was denied access from there. I mean, that's quite a hitch in your plans for the CT side.
It was all going so well.
Especially considering, I mean, that round that Grim saves, 3 players went down. That's quite a bit of economic damage, and now it's coming to fruition. Now you actually, if you're FURIA, get to exploit that fact. You've done the hard work. Now you need to push it over the finish line. 3 MP9s, 1 Scout, 1 M4. That's what Complexity's fighting with. And then they're out of money in the next round. So huge round for FURIA in the early stages of train.
There's JT to the kill on Skulls.
Look at this aggression from Complexity. This game plan to be pushing
I
towards
love it.
Ivy.
Grim's doing it again. He's in it, but oh, Fallen. He's right in front of him. Grim has got his target. And he's about to pounce on his prey again. is, oh, the MP9, he goes a little bit early. He goes way too early, but here we go. Nick's coming up through the ramp, trying to make the most of it, gets 1 kill out of it. Now Grim will continue his push forward. And sure, plan A might not have worked, but Grim was able to find a solution to continue to find impact, and he plays with his teammate, the MP9, causing problems. And Caserado blasted out of the round, so Grim making it work.
And you've already burned 1 timeout. I don't think you want to use one again, although you have money to drop, so maybe you do for a buy round, but that'd be risky this early. Either way, FURIA's got to have a conversation, whether it's like a French timeout, whether it's really quick during freeze time, whether it's an actual timeout, and talk over how they want to handle all this aggression. Because this is back-to-back rounds now where Complexity is executed on you, pushed up into your face, not let you stay comfortable playing your default, not let you stay comfortable deep in the map. And if this keeps happening, if this harassment is going to be there throughout this half, FURIA's in for a really rough time.
Fallen rocking the helmet Glock combo. Cello getting rocked by Grim, who has just pushed into team main again.
Yeah, just as we talked about him needing to step up to be the star of this team, he's delivering in the first 6 rounds of this game. 11-1 so far for Grim. And FURIA spread on the map. Again, you have this weird situation where it's going to be about 10 to 15 seconds before anyone from FURIA is close enough together to work together.
Yeah, it feels like Grim's in the flow state right now. Even when the initial flank didn't go that well for him, he was still able to find the solution. It's been a couple of scenarios like that where he's just finding the answers.
And with the kind of repetitive nature of Complexity being aggressive and taking over team main and finding this kill and pushing up into it, FURIA hasn't really fallen into a whole lot of other options other than a B hit. So now trying to work themselves through pop.
Smoke into pop comes in. And popping out is Fallen. Caserado traded upon. He's had a slow start to the game after having such a boss performance on Dust2 of 0-6 on Caserado. Never a pretty sign for FURIA. Fallen trying to slip away for a bomb plant, but that's not allowed to happen. And FURIA getting manhandled by Complexity.
Yeah, you can just tell the comfort level on this map for Complexity is sky high.
I love how holzerk's playing with a big mouse pad. That's the custom PGL Bucharest mouse pad.
Yeah, it all doubles up as a blanket as well in the winter months.
Yeah, covers up the whole desk. And as a Norwegian, holzerk knows what being cold means.
Yeah, you need that extra layer.
I love how I went from the mullet to a very sophisticated, you know, yacht club kind of haircut.
The cleanup was spectacular, for sure.
It's great.
I think that was Dallas last year. And I was just like, who are you?
How has this happened?
Who is this person?
It also softens the desk for when he hits it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, JT coming out of connector, lining up and mowing down. Denied by JT and Grim to steal away one at the end. He has to get a kill every round. That's the rule.
Yeah, you thought Nyx might be in a little bit of trouble in that round. Dinked up immediately, but the good rotation, the good reinforcements coming in, 2 players attacking to that lower ramp. No chance for FURIA. AK-47s are back, but still yet to see any side of life in this T side.
No, but there's one positive. I mentioned that FURIA have played this map 4 times. Every single one of them have been very close in the scoreline. We're talking 13-11, 16-13s, 13-10s.
Losses or wins? Close losses?
2 wins, 2 losses.
Okay.
And the wins were close.
Boy, that good news just keeps getting less good, doesn't it?
No, but it means they're going to come back, Jason. You know, we're going to expect a big old comeback.
We'll see. Gonna try and force their way out main, but holzerk blind lands 1. Good shot onto Grim.
And Caserado has earned his license to kill, double 0-7. So he's going to try and get himself this kill forward, but Skulls is taking 60 out of play. holzerk at the back of the bomb train doing as much as he humanly can, but here comes JT around the back. Oh, Fallen's looked at the right time, but JT still comes out on top of it, and for Caserado, the woes continue. It's Skulls stuck in the outer yards with none of his teammates around.
And only 9 health, so that's not ideal.
Oof.
But because he's disappeared, maybe timing can be his friend to grab 1 cheeky kill. He's gonna do the long play. That or he's gonna save. Can Nyx hear this? I believe so.
Either that or he's just having a random conversation.
Yeah, he definitely heard it. JT's on the move. Okay. Skull's just gonna have to go through this. It's basically a decision of which crappy situation do you want to put yourself into. Off angle towards Olaf. Cleans him out. 7-1.
Well, you had a question earlier, is are Complexity actually going to prove themselves to be a consistently good train team, or are we going to see the same negative performance we've seen from Dust2? And so far, we're getting that Complexity. They are going to show that they can be consistent on train.
Yeah, this is a really nice showing so far. Just yesterday, they beat Falcons 13-6 on the map. That was a smackdown, and it looks like they're doing something very similar right now to FURIA, who've burned their second time out to talk things over. It's hard to know where to begin with FURIA though, because it feels like they're not getting any space. They're not getting anyone out quickly. They're doing those kind of slower, more passive defaults. We've seen them try and mix a couple B rushes into things.
Yeah.
They're not finding opening kills, opening picks.
I mean, you have to talk about the fact that Kesrado has 8 ADR. You know, 0 and 8 right now. He's cooled down massively, and we realized how important he was to the T side on Dust2. You know, he was really popping off and finding so much success in the later stages of that T side.
It's a different style of game though, right? On Dust2, he had some teammates opening things up for him and putting him in decent, like, you know, 3-on-3s.
Now he's just kind of he's in the middle side, lost, having to look at 3 different angles.
And so many fights have been coming from the flank, and so many fights have been coming from off angles. Just a different map is Train, and yuurih gonna remain aggressive, wants the peek. yuurih heard it. yuurih sensed it. And there's that opening kill that's been so elusive for FURIA. 5-on-4 for the T side.
Just always constant pressure for Complexity. JT's pushing into team A. Nyx is just taking position at the ramp and pushed up a little further. JT's not slowing down though. And that's gonna work out. He catches Fallen.
Good find. Oh, this feels so risky. That head just barely not visible, and he's got it. Rips it out, and then Kesrado's after the fact. And that'll be 8.
Skulls again. 14 HP, and this time it's 60 off top red.
They can't do anything, man.
No, FURIA just being canceled out in this first half completely.
Complexity's showing them what Dust2 felt like.
Yeah. Maybe they'll stop diffusing at some point as well, you know?
So much money for Complexity's defense as well. Oh, this is turning into such a smackdown. Inferno would be the third decider, the third map and decider.
Third timeout.
Yeah, all 3. I mean, yeah, that's just a testament to how much they just feel stumped at this point. Like, you can't stop any of the early aggression right now. And because of that, your mid rounds are just chaotic and ineffective because there's constantly a push somewhere.
FURIA have as many wins as Complexity on Train. It's a fact.
They have as many wins as Complexity on Train.
Yeah, 2 wins each.
Okay.
That's it.
Nice.
And that's why stats don't tell the full story, Jason.
That's why stats don't tell the full story. You're right. I'm glad you could teach that lesson to the people today.
But they do tell some of the story. And my favorite stat is the scoreline. 8-1. It's telling a story of domination as Complexity look to try and keep it up. Third and final timeout's been used ahead of this round for FURIA. And Nyx has gone aggressive. The double up setup in full swing. 60's got the pick in teammate.
Dude.
And FURIA just don't really know where their next fight's coming from.
No, they'll have to have a real conversation. Team Main has been owned by Complexity throughout this half. Nice shot from Skulls, responded by Grim, scoped up with the AUG. Wants this fight on Kesrado. Molotov keeps him at bay for the moment, goes back for it. Kesrado probably didn't expect it due to the fire. But Grim is inevitable. Double kill, 15 kills for Grim in this map thus far, and Complexity now up to an 8-round advantage. Look at him.
That's the star.
That's peak performance.
And that's sadness.
That is sad, but you know, Skulls has that just kind of like sad quality to him.
Quality, yeah.
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 He always seems sad
Got them
about something.
Melancholy.
But he's a very happy guy once he starts talking. Just
Yeah. Not too much to be happy about at the moment, though, to be fair.
No, not right now. That's for sure.
I'm just intrigued how many kills Grim's going to exit the half with. This is incredible. All right, T-Main. It's Furia's this time.
The only round Furia won was a low buy with Tech9's coming out Ivy. That was it.
Push up to the ramp. They've taken B halls away here. Complexity. Oh my goodness. They know exactly where Furia are. They have them pinned.
Do they?
Nyx goes down and Cello's out though in the site. Yeah, you're right in terms of not knowing. They know they're coming towards A. They just don't know how far out in the site they are. But now they figured it out. Kills have come in. And look at Skull. Smoke fades away. Unfortunately, there's another smoke, but he's just going to walk right through that one, right through Icon, and into the site. yuurih holding for JT's peak, and that's just a straight-up fight loss.
Yeah, they just can't win anything. All right, Skulls and Fallen to put this together, but Grim's AUG is just on point. Double kill. You were wondering how many he's got. A chance for 18 for Grim at the half. And Fallen waiting patiently, 1 versus 3. Nobody's close to him. They're going to let him plant the bomb. They're going to give him the space he wants, and they'll know exactly where he is once it's planted.
Could get even more than that. Fallen just creeping through connector. JT's all the way up in the brown hole, so I actually have a way into a plant at least here, Fallen. And then a special clutch is required.
The hard thing is he doesn't know where anyone is. So it's like, 1, where do you plant? And 2, where do you position yourself after the fact? Because you've got to be safe from everything in the post plant, at least for the moment. Now, the best thing he can do is pick a place to get aggressive.
And he might walk into... Oh, he's got 2 players here, though. That's the problem here. And Fallen's exposed to JT's pushes a little bit later on, and they just jump around the corner.
Yeah, it's such a tough situation, and Fallen's making all the right plays. But when you hear 2 players stomping around in CT spawn, you're like, oh, I got no chance.
Yeah, I can't fight
yeah,
that.
This
Can't
is,
swing into
I can't
that.
get aggressive here. And you're just stuck out in the open. So 10-1. Quite a spanking we have on our hands here. Still 0 kills on K-Serato. 1 last chance to get off the goose egg in the first half.
Frozen did it yesterday. He got off it in the last round and went on to finish, get like 21 kills in the follow-up in the second half going into overtime. So let's see. Can K-Serato channel that kind of energy?
Still doesn't even have an assist. 9 ADR in this first half for K-Serato.
I mean,
Hasn't been able to
literally
find anything.
That's literally almost nothing. Well, Skulls into the middle of the site. They're already taking quite a bit of space here, Furia. Skulls needs to make it work, though, and he does so. Skulls gets traded instantly in 60 on 3. All right, K-Serato, here we go.
Get 1.
At least.
Get 1.
Get 4.
Just wait in the corner.
Looking to get off the big old 0.
Where did 60 come from? Was he playing Evox that whole time, or did he like pop out a pop dog at like a weird timing? Those 3 kills came in so fast and felt like Furia wasn't even able to react to it.
Yeah, I mean, I was on board with Skulls, just focused solely on him. And 60 just appeared out of nowhere. You see the chaos with those smokes down on the site. Oh, K-Serato, you got 45 seconds here. Bomb on your back. Molotov, HE grenade, and a chip on your shoulder. Gives away his position. Oh no, I don't see how he gets away with it, but he gets his 1 kill, and that's a small victory.
It's all that matters.
It's a small victory. And he moves into the second half. It is dominant for Complexity.
There was probably a little fun team bet on Complexity of like whoever dies to K-Serato first has to buy dinner. It's now 60.
Yeah, 60. He's got to buy the whole dinner then.
The whole team's got to get some steaks. Well, 11-1. They've done better than Furia did in the first half of Dust2. And just by the way this has looked in terms of the comfort, in terms of the style and the confidence of these 2 teams working around the map, it doesn't feel like there's anything in the tank for Furia to lean on to make a comeback happen.
Yeah, just deflation for Furia.
JT 14-4, Grim 18-2 at the end of the half. 60 had his moments, Halzerk had his moments, Nyx had his moments.
They're having a good time.
Yeah, firing on all cylinders. That Dust2, that little like second half of little extra rounds of play really got them warmed up to come into train and dominate FURIA. Inferno next. Feels like just a matter of time.
With a pistol round victory for Complexity, you might as well start loading it up. Serato gets the second kill here. It's on Nyx in the pistol round, but traded out immediately by JT. FURIA staying ahead, but JT is locked in. Bombs up on top of the bomb train and nails the shot.
Bombs down though, close to Cello. Oh, loses the fight to Grim, who's gonna make the run. Now over towards Z. yuurih's held back. Grim again, and that's the pistol. Halzerk finds Skulls. 12-1 Complexity with 11 chances to take us to a deciding map.
Thought it'd be hard for Complexity to improve upon their train victory yesterday, but
this is no contest.
It was 13-6 versus Falcons yesterday. We're looking at 13-1 coming up here against FURIA. All right, Complexity might just be the train team to watch.
Call a B-rush.
That's how you want to close it. Little B-rush.
Send him a message.
Or an A-rush. How about that? Here they come out of the smokes. Serato with a 5-7. Getting traded on to 6C. The 5-7 blasting them away. In fact, Cello gets 2 kills from it, but Complexity doing a good job at stabilizing and staying even in the fight.
Yeah, Nyx finding one just as the smoke, or just through the smoke, is a little bit brutal for how well that actually started out for FURIA. That's why you don't rush middle on the anti-eco rounds. The nade barrage, the smoke that's going to be up in your face, all that chaos lends itself to FURIA advantages. Bomb is now dropped, so you have to know there's going to be one T close to this if you're fallen. Footstep made in the halls above, and I don't know if that's what caused Fallen to turn the corner, maybe thinking they were elsewhere, but it certainly coincides very interestingly.
Well, it's yuurih, or it's the map closer here for Complexity. They have plenty of time, just under 1 minute on the clock. They pick the bomb up.
Problem is, you still feel super nervous if you're Complexity, because you don't know where he is, and there's so many angles you have to be worried about.
Yeah, and a little 5-7, he could quickly melt one of them away and get back into cover here at Pop. Especially if that plant is committed to and exposed to yuurih. JT's wrapping around the bomb train. 30 seconds left. yuurih's still yet to make a move out. He's just waiting for that commitment to the plant. And JT taps it. It's safely planted away from a Pop Dog swing. And eventually yuurih's got to come out, but they've got eyes on it, and it's Complexity to close it out. 13-1 victory here on train. They're making a case for themselves to be the strongest train team we've got.
13-1. Yanko looks horrified.
Strongest train team we got where in this matchup? Like, or in the world?
Who's better? Who is better?
And a 13-1 bounce back for Complexity on train. We've got Inferno coming up as the third and final map, Jason.
And the 12-match win streak of Complexity on the line here in this third map. Losing this one, it goes back down to 0. We start from the beginning. I like those words from Grim, too. I kind of, you know, the sense of, look, we got destroyed last time we came over to Europe and played in these competitions. So for us, this event is like a barometer. Like, how much have we actually improved? How much have we actually learned? Have we stepped up in any meaningful way to now be able to fight back against these teams? They showed it against Falcons. They showed it on map 2 against FURIA. Let's see what we've got on Inferno. FURIA starting on the attacking side. Plenty of utility.
Oh.
And one less player.
Yeah, that's a great start for Halzerk. Straight down mid. Domes Cello. And Halzerk's going to continue to walk down into mid.
Okay, Halsey's feeling frisky to start the map.
Definitely feeling frisky. He's going to have to drop back and play a little safer here from Boyle, but he wants to go out for another peek. This time spots 2 players walking up mid. Halzerk is really feeling frisky. He's gone back again for the mid peek.
And he's alone. And I mean, this is him just posturing, right? This is
there's
himself.
4 here.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing in nature. You try and make yourself as big as possible so people get scared to fight you and go elsewhere. Has he done enough? Because you see that kind of confidence constantly peeking down mid that late in the round, you might feel like there's some kind of a hull set up to protect him, although they have Skulls clearing that out right now, so it's Complexity to make the move with a B push.
Going down banana, Serato throwing utility.
Oh, dropped it as well.
And he dropped it to protect himself and get out of there. So Smoke goes down defensively. They'll go into second middle. His job now switches to watching that B rotation. And now the fights go down. Halzerk gets his 1 pick. Skull's able to respond back. Serato not able to get anything done on that mid play. And the bomb plant is going to come through here for FURIA.
Yeah, but Grim and Nyx tried to push this forward a little bit too early before his teammates arrived. Now is the swing. Low on HP. yuurih's got him. Sixy goes down, and JT left in a 1v2. A tough 1v2 with the player up to his left, and there's no access. yuurih and Skulls. Oh, damn. Never mind. Take it back, JT. 2 more shots, 2 more chances. Bomb ticking ever deeper. Oh my lord, and he's got it. That's a clutch and a half.
That's sick from JT. The clearance onto the big box and stays composed to find the final shot. Huge from JT, and holzerk's happy about that one. He started it off. He did some decent work as well, getting his 1 extra pick before going down. And FURIA at least gets a bomb plant, but JT stepping up in a big way.
I mean, that's crazy. Like the 30 seconds of holzerk just like kind of standing out in the open, fighting and posturing, and then the 1v2 from JT. That's 2 individuals delivering some real nice goods in this round for you if you're complexity. JT just looking spot on.
Disappointing there on the face of yuurih. Quick take here of Banana for Grim. Sprinting down, looking to try and continue that confidence. And he was able to bring over from Train. holzerk committed. Oh no, it's not going well for holzerk with that M4A4. He's committed into the bedroom. Only managed 1. Now the M4 is available. Kelserado gets his gun out in time, and Grim runs right into him. Sixy's got to do everything here, and they are pretty low on the FURIA side of things. That MP9 can make quick work of them, and JT's come back in as well on the site. Bomb is around that corner and was not picked up upon the play forward from Cello.
And Cello showed his presence trying to like reach the bomb in that fashion. So smoke goes up, he's just going to try and pick it inside of it and fall back. Look at the HP of FURIA. Complexity's given him a great chance to win this round with all the crazy pushes and aggression. But they don't have the HP to last out another minute.
Trapped him in here, but if it comes down to timing, he gets back to it just in time to look towards Cello. Kelserado now arriving and didn't take his opportunity. Sixy was moving. And now Kelserado so low on health. Sixy makes it look easy in the end. So recovered, but it definitely looked like FURIA were going to be able to pick that one up at a certain point.
Yeah, it did. I mean, Sixy really closes the door. His play towards Boiler as the last one left to take down 1, turning towards the balcony over Pit, getting some support from his teammate who shifted in as well. Without his presence, FURIA just swarmed that site. So 2-0. And FURIA choose to force up again with that kind of a round, with that kind of success. They feel it's right there for the taking. So they fully invest. And Complexity have another challenge in front of them.
Grim marching down Banana. There's the first pick from Kelserado. holzerk able to rattle 1 back in response. And JT playing a dangerous game, but keeps his head of the car tucked away for the time being. Kelserado going to leap over the top, and JT loves the fact he gets a lineup. He even holds down for a 3rd. And Skulls is down inside of the apartments. 3-0 start here for Complexity.
And that's pretty rough for FURIA because that investment gets you nothing. Doesn't even do economic damage for you. You only get 1 kill, so you don't do any work in taking the money away from Complexity down the stretch at all. You just get no production out of a heavy investment yourself. Now with the losing bonus build up, they can do another similar kind of investment and have a full buy in the next round. So it's a lot of pressure FURIA is trying to apply, just not always succeeding.
It's quick up Banana. Here from the majority of the forces of FURIA. Grim is caught by a flash, but look at Sixy, confident, freed up as he makes his way down mid. He'll combine with Grim to shut down all of FURIA, melt them away, and continue the 4-0 lead here for Complexity.
I think Complexity is coming out really aggressive and assertive in this one to try and build off how dominant Train was.
Yeah,
to try and kind of try and carry that feeling and that vibe into this match for as long as humanly possible. It's lasted 4 rounds so far, so not too shabby, but guns coming out for FURIA. AK-47s, Galils, plenty of utility. And for the Complexity side of things, I'm interested to see what level of aggression they bring out in this round, because we've seen tons of pushes down Banana, tons of peeks down mid. holzerk 2 or 3 rounds now has peeked towards alt mid as well. Is Complexity going to just kind of scale it back a little bit and let this round be standard, or are they going to continue with that sort of philosophy? It worked for them on Train. Constant aggression, constant pushes. FURIA could never be comfortable even in the mid rounds.
Deep mid smoke thrown by Complexity. They'll fire a nade in behind it. Nick's confident to get into the apartments early. He might get a challenge straight away here. Skull is leaping into the bedroom. He's not alone either. He's got Cello joining him at the end of the hallway, and holzer is going to get pulled into this. Good dink, good kill. And he's going to drop down out of Boiler. And it's so important that he didn't get traded by Cello so he can equalize out the numbers.
Yeah, that's a really nice find to bring this into a 4-on-4. Sixy's the next one up to get aggressive. Cello's looking for it, just switched away, committed now. Sixy doesn't want that fight, especially now that holzer has fallen. But he's sticking around, Sixy, over in Halls. No more smokes, no more Molotovs for the CT side. I think that's the philosophy now for Complexity, is group up. Hope they come to us here, but sack the round if they go to the B-bomb site. FURIA is just going to clear top banana, and it looks like they want to come right back into the stack. How much does Serato investigate? Does he peek into the bomb site? Does he realize there's no pressure here whatsoever? 23 seconds on the clock, and yeah, he's going to figure this out for his team. This is the winning play from Serato and FURIA. Bomb will be brought back. First round on the board for the T side.
And even the last-ditch effort of fighting down mid. yuurih's going to win that duel against Sixy. And JT and Grim will just look to try and save the M4s.
You like to see that at a Serato too, considering, look, we know he's one of the best riflers in the world. We know he's incredibly talented, but he did just have that really rough map of Train. And it can sometimes, you can sometimes get like kind of knocked off your confidence a little bit to where maybe going into that situation, he wouldn't want to take those peaks. Maybe he's just like happy to smoke it off, throw the utility, and is like, you know what, I'm not doing good in fights today. I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to peak. So it's good to see him actually go clear out that bomb site for his squad and find the opening. Get FURIA started in this first half of Inferno. Money's still great for Complexity, so no real issues in the next round for the CT side.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, they can just keep on buying, get everything they want out. In fact, they even played that round with some SMGs, right? So this will be the Complexity's strongest buy so far. A nice luxury to have as you get a 4-0 lead into this. Holes are getting the AWP out. JT had a hot start on this map, won the pistol round, and followed up with some great moments. 7-0. Be interested to see if he can continue that. Who wouldn't imagine so, to the same level. And this time, not as aggressive from Complexity. Don't think that's all that surprising, considering we're now at the rightful point of the game.
Into the AWP. Passive angle for holzer with Grim keeping space. Here's the utility, double dunk.
Oh my god, that is straight to the face.
Yeah, that one hurts. But you still got 2 M4s to get through behind this smoke. It's not done yet.
Well, there's one M4 gone. Grim still tucked in behind half wall, but all of his teammates gone, and they haven't really done a whole lot of damage. And Grim, that's a little drop smoke. They'll know exactly where that came from, and they start rapidly spamming.
Now, the question is there another piece of utility stockpile that Grim can go grab? Because, look, this round feels like it's way out of reach for Complexity, but the time is the interesting part. Although if Nyx goes down, it's all over. That's a good save. Good job. Now you're calling it back. Oh, Sixy needs to turn around and join up with Nyx, who's going to try and get out of halls. Drops in towards pit. Nade is out. Time is everything.
He could get one off the back of the pack. It's yuurih going down first. Nyx, half his bullets left. He's going to wait inside the pit. Drops up. It's going to be Cello to fall next, and Serato eventually getting rid of Nyx in the pit. 9 seconds. Plant being committed to. Serato defends his in-game leader. And Fallen is able to put the bomb down and put it into a 2v1. Grim is a long way off getting back into this, all the way at bottom middle, and most of his health already gone. Needs an instant kill here on Fallen, and then he would be up against a low HP Serato. And Fallen, nice flick out to the left side. Grim gonna be dropped, and a strong recovery in the end there for FURIA, but Nick's doing what he could.
Yeah, doing everything he could. He was in a really tough place. The fact he makes that round even doable is pretty impressive. FURIA almost slip up right at the last hurdle in the round. But good impact from Serato being the guy to secure the plant for Fallen with that time dwindling. 4-2, another buy for Complexity by virtue of their hot start and all the money. But they're out of it after this. They've run out of losses to sustain.
Serato, good little gap at the start of the half wall there to go for a peek at corner. Couldn't continue in that position, so drops further back. Nick's going to be boosted up onto the porch. Tuck his face into the wall to play anti-flash. JT flashed into re-peeking top banana to gain information that no one is in fact at the car. Good dink. He's going to get away with that. He'll take the damage.
Really nice dink, but no more utility unless there's something stockpiled for JT to fall back and pick up. Doesn't appear so. They're pulling a third defender, just a little bit nervous. Nick's clearing out halls for the moment. So good control towards the A-bomb site for Complexity. They have all the info they need. Oh, that smoke bounces the worst way.
Yeah, hit off the edge of the wall in the wrong angle. 60 getting spotted aggressive coming through the apartments. 35 seconds left. They're actually wasting some time on that smoke because they're confused about what it's doing now. And JT waiting inside of the fountain. Serato, he's going to go down regardless. Now Grim at the back of the site. Beautiful double. And he's even got Holzerk out of coffins ready to go. As soon as he picks up the information, Grim gets a third kill from that position. And so Skulls with it all to do, and still Holzerk hasn't made his move. Out from the back of the coffins, using the distraction, but the flash goes up, and it's 60 to close it.
Nice round from Grim. Great triple kill, tapping away, being very, very economical with those bullets, making sure he doesn't spend too much. Fantastic triple kill. FURIA they might have been forced into that a little bit quick based off the fact that Skulls saw the push in the halls. That might have been the signal of like, okay, Complexity just figured out what we were doing. We kind of have to go. We kind of have to pull this trigger right now. Might have had to speed up, unfortunately. 5-2. 3-round lead in Complexity, still yet to have to save in this half.
On top mid they go. Holzerk tucks into the corner, and it's Shello to go down first. Molotov spreading in towards him. There's Holzerk and Fallen back and forth. yuurih to burn Holzerk where he stands in a 3v3 equalized because of that, and 60 decides he wants to put Complexity a closer move towards victory. It's Skulls again in the clutch, but this time inside of mid, it's Grim to fall. And Skulls could upgrade his weapon, but the problem is he's lost most of his health. He's down to 19 HP. Still has to make the journey to get the bomb back, and there's two players right beside it.
And the ball, yeah, that's the really hard part. Right around the edge of the smoke, 60's gonna drop him. 60, whatever.
Whatever you want.
It all works. Him being that third body on Rap side is crazy. There's no reason for FURIA to have expected 3 players to be defending that part of the map, and for that third player to be there so quickly. Really, really strong double from him. Risky play made by Nyx trying to like bail Holzerk out, stepping through the smoke to kind of help out with the riflers pushing his position. Worked out well enough though, 6-2.
FURIA just attempting to dodge the brunt of the initial utility damage, but they've lost all of Banana. Grim's going to take that, position himself at the bottom. Cello's got the hero AK. They're going to send him up top mid. We're at a minute off the clock. You do have some apartment space to play with here, FURIA. Gonna try and get into the A bomb site. Multiple avenues. 6-seed now peeking into top mid. That's the bomb on Fallen's back. Don't want to lose that in that scenario. yuurih was just peeking long, but he's fallen back into the bomb site itself, and yuurih's going to try and take that space in behind this moto smoke. They're worried about a B split here, and for good reason, because the bomb is coming back. JT, oh my god, goes down to Fallen's Tech 9, and Grim once again acts to go huge. 10 seconds on the clock, back of the site, Grim again, stepping up here for Complexity. Finally, Cello will cast him away, but he has to plant, and he's run out of time. Nope. Just run out of time for the plant coming in, and a second in it, but Grim once again, the hero at the back of the site. Cello goes down after the time as well. $600. It just gets worse for FURIA.
Oh, it really does. And I have to say, these last like 3-4 rounds for FURIA, I feel like we've been mentioning time as an issue in these kind of late executes, these late pushes into the sites. They're letting these rounds last a very long time in a very slim window at the end of all of it. So second timeout called as they try and work the finances, which were already in a relatively rough place. But now you add in Cello with no losing bonus. So Mac 10 on Skulls, P250 on Cello, and you're staring at a 5-round deficit on the deciding map. And you're kind of forced at this stage to continue investing if you're FURIA. You'd probably want to with this kind of a buy anyways, but again, you know you have this economy dwindled. You have it low. You want to keep it low. Get that reset for the final 2 rounds and try and make things a little bit easier, because at the moment, FURIA doesn't have enough here on T-side Inferno.
JT, this is a cool move, sprinting down to second mid with Grim with him. That's a lot of damage on Skulls. Oh no, but the one problem is 60 was the only B bomb site defender. They got the rotation coming back over. yuurih's gonna try and get there in time, but his teammate's gone down, so it's all about the utility to try and slow and delay FURIA from just erupting into the B bomb site. But it's got to be yuurih this time to have a big round on the defense. The flank from Grim around the backside. yuurih's done enough to delay them, to stop them, and then the flank comes in to close.
There it is. There's that aggressive attitude that Complexity have built up over this last couple months of disappearing into tier 2. Like, they had it on train, and once again, being hyper aggressive just like you were at the start of this round to get that 4-0 lead, and you're not giving FURIA any breathing room. You're not giving them any space, any seconds with which to talk things over, with which to buy some time and make a decision. There's just constant fights and constant flanks and no opportunity for FURIA to organize anything. Complexity is just destroying them and making them look a little bit foolish on these last 2 maps.
Well, they're going forward again. Straight down into second middle, the aggressive play. Grim was a little awkward with the flash. Cello's got 2 out of it, but Nick's making sure that he keeps his team in this fight. Even numbers thanks to the double kill of the AUG. And yuurih still got vision down mid. Complexity playing with attitude and controlling FURIA. Cello's 2 kills at the start of the round might just give them enough life, though, for FURIA to flip this into a 3rd round victory.
But now the round gets a little bit weird, and I feel like it actually turns into one thing that would probably be a weakness for Complexity facing off against FURIA is these mid-rounds where you don't have information. These 3v3 mid-rounds where you don't know what's happening, where you don't know where anyone's moved to. The defense is completely spread out, joined up 2 towards the B bomb site, and these guys are going to have to move. They cannot just sit here for a round. They need to use yuurih's op to cover a push from JT so they can arrive at the A bomb site to help Nyx. And you can't do anything fast.
Oh, that's fast. That's a real quick headshot from yuurih. Keserado's got JT. No problem on that kill. So FURIA gonna convert this one. Keserado's already moved out of a dangerous position where he could have possibly been exposed to yuurih.
And yuurih needs this op, so there's no reason for him to go for it. Money is not pretty. 60 and Grim sitting at around 1,000. yuurih can drop an M4 over. JT and Nyx can buy themselves. So as long as this op is in play, another very strong buy for Complexity, and one more chance for them to avoid having to save. This next round is going to be everything for this half. It's whether FURIA's got to mount an incredible comeback or whether they can close the gap and do just enough to keep this close.
Terrorists win.
Tenuta Auti.
Perfect Italian.
Thank you.
Four rounds. Can it make a big difference here for FURIA, Jason?
I think it can. Actually, I didn't even realize this was the last round. My math was one off. The reset doesn't even matter at this point. They've missed the opportunity for it. All right, one last very strong buy for Complexity. FURIA's come in as well, fully kitted out. Up on Fallen, 3 AKs and an M4 for the T side.
Fallen sprinting up. Banana looking for that opening pick on the corner. Might get his chance on Grim. He does get the chance, just couldn't connect it. Nyx back to his old tricks.
Yeah, but they better be aware. Holzerk better be aware that they can still get to Boiler. Because one's jumped up on the balconies, that's Skulls. But this flank is crazy. Okay, don't take that shot. Just communicate.
Yeah. Okay, he's found the bomb in just a second here. There you go. Look down. No, well, the bomb's right there. And he's got the pick here on Cello if he continues around that side, or he can take a couple banana kills, and he's forced to make his move because yuurih turned back. Fantastic trade from Cello to come through that quickly.
Poor Skulls. yuurih's probably like, what the hell? He pushed holes. And Skulls is like, well, I don't know. I went on the balcony.
All will be forgiven if they're able to turn this into a 4th round win. Ooh. 6E. He's trying to move a little closer to this top mid. Getting hungry for info.
He's pushing mid now.
Okay, he's walked right past Skulls, who's in Boiler. If he catches Kesserado knife out, which he will, that's another big kill. And Skulls is like, okay, guys, come on. Goes back to deal with it. Finally getting rid of 6C inside of second mid. Holzerk now has eyes in the apartments. 19 seconds. If he can delay this plant, this will be huge. So time is ticking, and Holzerk's in the position to win the round for Complexity. They go into the site. First shot's good. Couldn't get the second on Fallen, so the plant's going to happen at the back of the site. And it comes down to a 2v2 post plant for FURIA to try and lock out a 4th round in this half.
Really nice pathing from Fallen on entering into the bomb site. That's actually sick. Got so close to Holzerk before he was ready. Holzerk thought he would have another shot. Defensive smoke to create some space, but the AWP is going to be tough to get past with no flashes.
Yeah, this is guaranteed to be one at least for Fallen, straight to the chest of JT, and he'll close it on the double. Extra round found at the end here for FURIA, 8-4 with Complexity in the lead.
All right, scrape together everything they possibly could in a pretty rough half if you're FURIA, but 4 rounds, I mean, that ain't bad considering how this looked at one point.
Right.
Complexity was really running away with this, so it's not great, it's not good, it's not going to fill you with confidence, but there's a chance for FURIA to come back in this second half. They've got 4 rounds of buffer to utilize. Complexity looking for their 13th straight match win. Be their 8th straight series win. And would be an additional surprise that PGL Bucharest has in store.
Full of surprises here. But yeah, Complexity, I mean, coming back to European lands again, and definitely seen improvements already. I mean, it was kind of rock bottom for a while at the start of the year, so the only way is up, I suppose, but certainly seeing those improvements at the moment. Just around underway, plenty of smokes, lots of flashes, and Complexity charging into Banana.
JT can call a T-side Inferno, though. Seen some good T-sides from the different Complexity lineups over the years. 6E goes down, Cello falls back and finds safety. 5-on-4 in the favor of FURIA, and Complexity isn't going to slow this down. Committed to this idea, but they needed to deploy the smokes.
Cello on the pillar. just looking for the head in towards Pool, but not connecting a follow-up kill just yet. He's about to be put under pressure because Caserado cut off behind the smoke, and Cello runs out of ammo. And Grim's already behind. He's already inside of the church, and what a shot from yuurih.
It was a pretty nice reposition as well. I didn't expect yuurih to be ready for that fight exactly. Bomb gets planted, 3-on-3, and halzrk has no time to get anywhere else. Just now as the reload comes in, find some safety.
Yeah, well, there's a smoke here for Fallen, but there's no kit on the back of the remaining FURIA players for this retake. They've got to move quite swiftly, and Nyx is up first, and he passes the test. It's a double kill with halzrk combining. Complexity grabbed the pistol. 9-4, the scoreline reads.
Yeah, nice job. The halzrk reposition, jumping up on the boxes. They've got everything covered. They've even got someone at new box who can peek to set up a little bit of a crossfire. Really nice coordination from Complexity in the post plant. And they convert a 4v5 after Cello gets the pick. Second round bye from FURIA. Poor Cello with teammates stuck behind a smoke and having to reload, just knew it was a matter of time. Round 14.
Cello charging down towards Grim. And Skulls has got 2 out of it. He's still alive in behind the sandbags. They know exactly where he is, though.
Dink.
And eventually they get rid of him. But yeah, that's huge output. That might just put them in touching distance from Caserado, finding some serious impact here with the scout. Damage being done, but no kills for Caserado. So plant in the fountain and Fallen all the way at mid.
Gonna come up, Banana, try and salvage some weapons on the ground. I don't think there's gonna be anything that he finds that makes him too motivated to save. Maybe that Galil that he ignores. Poor Galil. Couple players on low HP. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for Fallen to just go for this and build up some bonus money with the MAC-10. No real chance at winning the round, so gonna bail out with the 1 frag. Tries to show that he's running away. Wants to pull Nyx out into the open.
Goes with the CT fight. And 6 will still win that. Nyx does go down to the bomb blast.
10-4, now you have a save, and this is where the money issue is really painful. Complexity is going to be so close, knocking on the door of the series victory by the time you get a chance for your next buy. So desperation, nade stat coming in. Skulls picked up 1, Caserado has an aid. See if that can do any damage, chip anyone down early on, but oh, Complexity has such a nice glimpse at going 2-0 in this Swiss stage. As long as they don't let it slip.
MP7, here it is. And there Fallen goes. halzrk just vibe into the tunes as he comes out through top mid, taken out by Skulls eventually on the USP. Not bad. A kill in the round. That's more than possibly expected for Skulls. Complexity looking to keep this one clean, head to 11 rounds to 4. Complexity going 2-0 at the start of PGL Bucharest 2025. I didn't necessarily have that
On your bingo
cards, Jason. It didn't feel like that was going to be a thing that I'd have to live through, really. So it's cool to see.
Now that it's here, aren't we having fun?
Yeah. Like you said, they're winning the major, so.
Yeah, that's the next thing. That's the big roster change. Messioso stepping in as coach. It's made all the difference in the world. He's brought his wealth of experience back from North.
Back from North.
Yeah.
God, what a journey. That's crazy thinking about it, back to North. It's a long time ago.
That era existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about that team, the thing that I remember most, because I just watched it as a teenager,
Yeah.
is I remember seeing like they did, what their coach made them do like CrossFit training before matches, so their arms were just dead before the games.
Get the blood pumping, baby.
They just couldn't aim. Oh. Well, there's JT going forward. Caserado couldn't stand a chance against the Galil, the mighty JT.
Rough start on a very, very important round. It forces Cello to burn a smoke way earlier than he would have liked to. And already into the B-bomb site we go. Complexity's just like, we sense weakness. We'll attack this. I don't know, this is a weird one, because you obviously need rounds. And you obviously want to keep Complexity off 12, especially when you're still on 4. But this retake has such a low percentage to it that Don't even know if you could make the argument that the round is so necessary you have to. However,
Oh, no.
if you're going to lose all the guns, you might as well have tried.
Yeah, at this point, it's just misery for FURIA. JT gets one through the smoke. Follow-up kill on the lurk. Oh, it's kind of horrible now for FURIA. 2 players. At least they'll get the AWP.
Complexity should just hunt this.
But
You
yeah,
have
they
so
can throw
much money.
Everything they've got at this.
Yeah, all 4 players. Sacrifice them all if that's what it takes.
12-4 with FURIA with nothing. I mean, that's just teeing you up straight away for the series victory. Sixy moving into the site. yuurih pinned to the back. Sixy's going to chase him down. yuurih gets one before falling, and everything ripped out of their hands. Complexity in pole position to close out the series versus FURIA.
I tell you what, it's got to be heartwarming for Complexity management when you see guys like Sixy putting up 18 kills in this game, Nyx having 13 kills, and some of the impact those 2 guys have had as well. Good decision to pick them up, and I mean, picking up young talent in North America has always been a little bit of a conversation. It hasn't happened a whole lot. We've seen a lot of orgs drop out, so a lot of talent go untapped.
Feels like there's risks behind it.
You've had a lot of talent who felt like they were ready for the opportunity that didn't deliver. You've been burned a couple of times, but the fact that these 2 are stepping up yesterday against Falcons, now today against FURIA, you got to be so happy about that. 8 chances to close out this series.
And none better than this. Look at this. 5 MP9s in play for FURIA.
First map was dominance for FURIA on Dust2, but Train was a 13-1 victory for Complexity, and they've carried that into Inferno. At least 2 spotted.
And here's Sixy.
No one's lined up for the flashes, though, so he's got to wait. Oh, falls asleep a little bit at the wheel.
Yeah, takes a dink on board. That'll wake him right up. He's going to jump into the pit. Doesn't stop him. Nyx and Sixy combining in pit, taking Fallen out, closing the map out of fields at this point. 4v3, and they've got the sight. halzrik's got the scope pinned up here at Library. He's going to miss the shot. Luckily gets away back into the safety of the smoke.
He needs to live. One of his teammates, JT needs to be telling him, halzrik, you need to live. You have the only HP on the team. Everyone else is very, very low.
halzrik waiting. Here comes the follow-up. What a shot from Kesserado. All right, that's huge.
No kits.
Low HP in the pit players, and yeah, you're right. They have to move so fast here. That Molly's sure going to force the fight into the open, but Sixy's confident, just couldn't get the follow-up kill. Graham in the bomb site, time ticking, lack of kit is the problem. Nyx has won it by staying in the pit. FURIA tap it, he won't give them the chance, and there's no time to redeem themselves here. Complexity take a 2-1 victory against FURIA. They are up 2-0 here to kick off PGL Bucharest 2025.
I mean, Dinko said that Complexity was the best trained team in the world. Moses said it as well. They're going to win the major now after beating FURIA. I'm kidding, boys. Let's be honest, though. This wasn't the Complexity I was expecting. They looked good. They looked confident.